Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Q&A show. I'm glad you made it today. You guys got to see me on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and trying to talk to you guys today. Thank you for being on my social media and paying attention to what I'm doing. Today's going to be a really exciting show. I've got a really dynamic guest. My name is Bob Theriot, and you are on the Q&A show. So let me tell you a little bit about my next guest, okay? He is an international sales and digital marketing strategist and boss marketer. He advises and consults with local business owners, sales professionals, and executives in the areas of social media marketing, business development, and sales mastery. Mark is fluent in 3 languages and has traveled to over 35 different countries. He has conducted training programs for the who's who of the business world, like Bank of America, New York Life, Berkshire Hathaway, just to name a few. Mark has a passion to inspire and empower people to achieve their potential and their business and personal lives. And please help me welcome Mark Antonio to the broadcast, everyone. Hey, Mark, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. It's hot over here in Texas. How about over there? You're in LA, right?
Yeah, it's scorching over here. Probably not as hot as it is there, though.
Yeah. Hey, and everyone, before we get started, do me a favor. If you guys can share the button, smash that heart button, hit that share button. Mark's going to be talking we're going to be talking about video marketing and local businesses today. And the more people we can reach, the better. So hit that like button, smash that heart button. It really means a lot to us. But anyways, thanks, Mark. I really appreciate you doing this. I know you're really busy out there. You run a marketing agency, correct?
Yeah. So we have a marketing agency, and our main focus is we help local business owners and sales professionals establish themselves and brand themselves and position themselves on social media, and Facebook, LinkedIn, and video marketing and YouTube. So, before we even continue, I want to thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. So tell me, you've spoken all over the world, right? 35 different countries. What was it that you were teaching? I know you're a sales trainer, so I'm assuming sales training. Was there a specific niche that you were training to or teaching to?
It was not a specific niche. It was basically, the gamut or the full spectrum of business people, whether that be real estate agents, insurance agents, automotive representatives, sales representatives, or network marketers, or just local businesses in general. But we've done a lot of work in Canada, and also obviously North America, and a little bit of work in South America.
Wow. So how did you get started in this industry and in speaking and in digital marketing? What brought you to where you are now?
So actually, at one point, I was a speaker, trainer, and a coach. I used to travel the country with, in my opinion, the leading authority in the personal development industry. And he really had a focus on personal development and mindset. But I was more, I guess, drawn to marketing and salesmanship and sales training. And so that's why I kind of diverted and went into this direction, because I noticed that when I focused on making myself a better salesperson, a better person overall in general, but also a better salesperson, and when I committed to marketing, I really started to see the needle move on my results. So that's actually how I kind of segued back into, that's how I segued into this business.
And so when you've traveled and you've got to meet these local business owners, and you've done a lot of different industries, what is the one constant that you see with business owners? Or do you see them make a certain mistake, or what makes them successful? How do you contrast it, since you've been everywhere? So I think it's really interesting that, we do things as Americans, right? Very few people travel outside of the country, and they don't really know what it's like, especially in business. It's completely different, right? In some areas.
Yeah, well, what I would say is I think there's a lot more business talent in the United States than there is probably anywhere else in the world. And the customer service in the United States, North America, Canada is better than everywhere else. In regards to, people are the same. We're wired the same way. We all have the same fears. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of the unknown. So I think for the most part, everybody has the same issues.
Same issues. And so a lot of similarities you see there, right?
Yes, for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about video marketing, right? I promised my audience that we were going to be talking about video marketing, and so let's dive in.
We're not going to do that, are we?
No, yeah, we're going to talk about video marketing. I mean, everybody was waiting for it. I said, hey, we're gonna talk about the things that are real important and how you should do it. And what's your take on video marketing? I have a lot of stats, so
oh, really?
I'm going to let you do. I have a ton of stats, but I'm going to let you do your thing, and you tell me what your take on it first.
Well, I would say, I think if you're a local business owner or a sales professional, I think video marketing is probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself and your business right now and for years to come. And the reason why I say that is because there's no easier way to establish credibility and a connection with another person live before you meet them live than there is through video. You have some stats, but one of the stats that I think I saw is Cisco said that 75% of all mobile web traffic by the year 2020 is going to be video. It might already be that right now. But then also, I think I saw a stat where 64% of people will actually buy of consumers that they're more likely to buy a product after they see a video about it. So, and here's the thing, what you need to ask yourself, and a lot of people in general, we don't like to do videos because it takes a little bit of work and you have to see yourself on camera, right? We all experience the same fears. I do probably just as well as you probably. But what you need to ask yourself is your competition doing videos? And if the answer to that question is yes, then you have to do videos to catch up to everybody, right? And if the answer to that question is no, well, then you must do videos to get away from everybody else, because it's only a matter of time until everybody's doing video, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the numbers, like you said, they're through the roof right now. And really, Facebook is even moving that way. Mark Zuckerberg, they quoted him saying that probably by 90% of his content is going to be video here in the next few years. And they're gearing up for it. So everybody's consuming video. But a lot of what I see are a lot of business owners just don't even know where to start. And they understand the importance of it, but they don't want to get in front of the camera. They're really, really camera shy, right? Do you see that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, the interesting thing is it's something that you just have to do. It's kind of like a necessary evil. The first video that you make, it's not going to be as good as your second. The second's not going to be as good as your third, and the third's not going to be as good as your fourth, and so on. But if you think about it, when like a local business owner or a sales professional makes a video, the video that they make is usually them bragging about themselves and about how great they are, right? Mm-hmm. See, you don't want to do what everybody else does. Okay, obviously, when you have a video, yes, you want to have like a video showcasing your product or your service, because obviously that's what you're selling. But in my opinion, I think there are 3 essential videos that every salesperson or local business owner should have. 3 of them. Yeah, 3 different types. Okay. The first one, I think, is everybody should have FAQ or value giveaway videos. Okay. And these are videos where you put your most important, useful, and best content out there for free. Now, if you're watching this right now and you're like a local business owner or salesperson, you're thinking, well, I don't want to give away my best stuff for free. My question is why? Why not? Your competition is, and if they're not, it's only a matter of time until they do. And right. If you give to people for free up front, when it comes time to make a purchase, who do you think they're going to go to? Right? And when you do these videos, you want to here's some ideas. Like, and I said FAQ videos or value giveaway videos. If you don't know where to start, think of like the most commonly asked questions that people have for you when they find out that you are a real estate agent, when you are an insurance agent, when you are a car salesman. Right? And
somebody from an insurance agency saying, how do you right there? So there's insurance people here.
Okay. Is that Gus Ariano?
Yeah.
I saw him show up here. Yeah. So another thing you might want to do is take the 10 most burning, you don't have to stop at 10, but the 10 most burning questions that your target market has around what you do, and take each question and answer it on a video. And by doing this, you'll actually position yourself as somebody who's credible, and it gives you an opportunity to connect with somebody, right? Right. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the like top salespeople or business owners that we work with, they'll actually take these videos that they've pre-made and they'll send them to their prospects or their clients before they actually meet with them, so they have credibility and respect walking into the appointment. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Perfectly good sense. But let's get over this thing. So we already talked about the fear of getting in front of the camera. And then people are also afraid of technology. Like, do I go out and buy a Nikon camera? what kind of equipment do I use? And then those questions start popping up, right? And the truth of the matter is you can use your smartphone, correct?
Yeah, before we jump into that though, just because I did tell you there were 3 essential videos that like.
Okay, yeah.
Let me cover the other 2 because people are like, what, you're not gonna finish this? Yeah, and then another thing too, when I say the FAQ videos, right? There's an exact structure on like what you can say in a video to keep people tuned in, hold their attention, and keep them engaged. And like I can get into it right now, but what I can do is, because I'll go through this briefly and quickly, but if you don't have the time to write this down, we've actually made a video marketing cheat sheet for local business owners and sales professionals. So if you want these templates that we're talking about, where we literally tell you exactly what to say, you can go to bossmarketer.com/video and download it for free, and you'll have it. It's like a 3 or 4 page PDF where we've given you a cheat sheet and exactly everything that we're covering in today's Q&A show. Okay?
That's awesome.
But really quickly, like the structure of what to say when you're doing like an FAQ video, really simply, you want to give people an overview and just be really concise and clear and to the point, because the problem that people run into with videos is they repeat themselves or they ramble, okay? And if you do that, you're gonna lose people, they're gonna tune out, they're gonna click away, okay? So when you make a video, you wanna give people an overview about what you're talking about, okay? So in this video, we're gonna talk about XYZ, okay? And then you wanna let them know why it's important, okay? If you don't do this, this is what's gonna happen. Here's what has happened to other people and they have not done this, okay? And then you wanna give them the meat. What is it, what is the answer to the question that these people your target market might have? Or what is it you're showing them to do? And obviously you wanna give them examples as well. And then after you do it, you want to summarize what you've talked about, brief summary. And then at the end, you want to give a call to action. This is a really great way to build your YouTube channel or build your email list, so you can put people into the nurture sequence and follow up with them later on. But at the end, have a call to action. Just be like, hey, if you like what we cover here, like the channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or I like the video, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, or opt in to get this free report on what you should look for if you're thinking about selling your home, or what you should look for in the real estate agent. What are the top most important things to look for in a real estate agent? How to find the best real estate agent in your market, even if it's not me, right? Something like that. Get people's appetite, get them hungry and thirsty for what you've got, so they opt in, and you can collect somebody's information that way, right?
Right.
And, so yeah, that would be the structure of like what to say in an FAQ video. And like I said, I went through it quickly. If you want the template on that, you just go to bossmarketer.com/video. And then, okay, the second type of video that I think every salesperson or a business owner should have is an about me video. Okay, now previously I just said we don't want to make a video bragging about how great we are, and that's not what we're doing here. In this about me video, this is a video where you can actually connect with somebody and let them know who you are as a person, as opposed to just an insurance agent or a network marketer, right? Mm-hmm. So this about me video, this is where you say who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and then you also want to talk about your hobbies or an area of interest, so people can connect with you, right? You got to realize that yes, people buy products and services, but really what they're buying beneath that, because they can get maybe not the same product or service that they get from you from somebody else, but something very similar. Okay.
Very, very similar.
Yeah. So what people are buying is they're buying people, right? Mm-hmm. They're connecting with you. You want to give people an opportunity to connect with you. Actually last week, I did a workshop for a local mortgage company. Before I went there, the guy sent me an email, and in the email was a video that he made. It was an about me video, and it had nothing to do with mortgages, right? Yes, he said, yes, this is, I'm in the mortgage industry, and why he does it. But he talked about himself. And what he talked about was how he has an affinity for music, and music is a huge part of his life. And he had, had clips of him, playing guitar. And it also talked about how he's really committed to his church. And so before I even met this guy, okay, before I even walked into his office, I liked the guy. Mm-hmm. I can connect with the person, right? And I remember when I was in there, he said, you know what? When I made that video, because I told him about it, I said, I think that's a great idea, and I really like your video. I thought it was awesome. He said, one of my competitors said that they saw the video and they said, okay, great. Maybe, I think he's a good guy, but I don't know if I'd send him along. Well, it's not the point, okay? The point is you're giving somebody an opportunity to connect with you and find out who you are as a person, because people buy people, okay? So, your about me video, you just want to make sure it's concise and to the point. And people say, hey, how long do videos need to be? And the answer to the question is they need to be as long as they need to be. Okay, like I said previously, you run into issues when you repeat yourself or you ramble on. So just be clear and concise and to the point. And before you make a video, maybe do like, you don't have to script it out, but make a brief outline just so you can stay on track. Okay.
Right.
And then last thing, the third essential type of video that I think every salesperson or business owner should have, and this might be the most powerful one, believe it or not, and it's the easiest one to get or to do. And those are testimonial videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the most underutilized selling tool out there.
Right.
Okay. Right now, if you just did what I'm about to talk about right now, you'd really start to see a shift in your results on the positive side. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you have other people talking about how great you are, it goes 1,000 times further than you saying it, because everybody expects you to say it, right? And I know I've met with people so many different times, and this is a great question to ask your prospects when you meet with them. But you want to ask the question, why did you invite me to come in today? Because what you'll do is you'll find out what's working in your marketing up to that point, mm-hmm. right? And what you're doing right. And the common answer to that question is, you know what? I saw all the video testimonials that you have on your website or on your YouTube channel, and I just thought to myself, I'd have to be stupid to not have this person come in here.
Right.
This person obviously knows what they're talking about.
Right.
Okay. So you want to have so many video testimonials, and all these videos that I just talked about right now, these 3 different types of videos, you want to have them on your website if you have a website. And if you don't, you definitely want to have them on your YouTube channel. YouTube channel is free. So if you don't have a website, there's your website. You just go to YouTube and fill in the blanks and put your videos in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you want to have so many video testimonials where people just think to themselves, you know what? I've seen so many of these videos that I'm getting sick of these, and I'm just going to go with this guy or this lady, right? And they're really easy to get because basically it's not you doing it, right? So the way to get them is very simple, okay? You just, after you've performed, you've delivered your product or your service, or you've helped somebody with the process of buying a home, so to speak, you ask them, and when they're in a good mood, let me ask you, how do you like your XYZ? How do you like this product that we just got for you? How do you like the service that we performed for you? How do you like how we handled this entire process for you? And then they're going to say, oh, it was phenomenal. It was great. It was magnificent, right? Whatever they say, immediately after that, you want to say, would you mind taking 10 seconds to say that in front of my phone? And they're going to get one of 3 answers. Okay, you're going to get yes, no, or you're going to get, I got David Antonio Silva's coming on. Huh? That's good.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. There's Desiree. Okay. So yeah, you're going to get yes, no, or the other answer you're going to get is, okay, what should I say? And then when they ask you, what should I say? You say, repeat what you just told me right now, right? And then get the video testimonial right away. Like, don't wait, because if you wait, life and business are going to get in the way, and it's not going to happen.
You're right there. You might as well do it right there.
Do it right there. And so basically find a place where there's not a lot of noise and it's well lit, and just have them say, who they are, their name, their title, if it applies, if it's, a business, where they're located, and what they liked about doing business with you. And at the end, just say thank you. And then if you do this, with every single client that you had, and you just make, if you have a website, you want to have a section on your website where it's literally a tab on the top of your website that says what others are saying about us. Okay. Like, for example, on our website, it says wall of proof, and you click on the wall of proof, and then we have different industries, different people in different industries saying good things about us on video testimonials. That right there, I'm telling you, if you just did that, like I said, you'll really start to see the needle move on the results in business. Because everybody, what it does, it subconsciously tells people, you know what, I've already walked down the path that you're thinking about walking down, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. And there's a saying, right? And I think I learned this from my mentor, Jeffrey Gittimer. And his thing was, if you say something about yourself, you're bragging. When somebody else says it's something good about you, it's proof. So what you're delivering is proof in those testimonial videos that you're capturing.
In fact, I read a book by your mentor, Jeffrey Gittimer, and he harped on what I was just talking about, video testimonials. Right. I don't know, he might have had more than like 2 chapters on it. And he talked about how, there's nobody can refute any of those things that people are saying, because these are real live customers.
Right.
That have had great experiences with you.
And these are real easy strategies that you gave away. So just recap it one more time real quick. So for the last one was testimonial. right?
So the three essential types of videos, aside from like the videos where you're showcasing your product or service. Number one, an FAQ or a value giveaway video. Okay, that's one type. You don't want to just have one of those though. You want to have as many as you can. And just think about it. Like if you made 12 of these videos, right? You took the 12 most burning questions that your clients have about around your business, and you made a video. You made 12 videos, and you posted one video a month. You'd have a year's worth of content, right? And then the next year you can recycle those videos. And you don't want to just do that. And you can also add to them as well. So number one, FAQ or value giveaway videos. Okay. Number two, you want to have an about me video where you talk about who you are and give people an opportunity to connect to you as a person. And then number three, video testimonials. And up the wazoo with these. Like you want to have as many as you can get.
Right.
I see Gus saying, you are so right on testimonials. Or testimony from our customers is our customer service. My data prides herself on customer service. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, that's how it works. And so with these videos, we're talking about videos, but it's almost the equivalent of Google reviews and Facebook reviews and Yelp reviews, right? You're capturing them on video, and you can use that in all your marketing. But just a little side note, you guys, is that you have to be paying attention to your reputation. You always have to be paying attention to your reputation. So that segues my idea into taking those testimonials or those Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and turning those into videos as well. Okay, so that's a fourth video that you can create. And those are really, I don't want to say they're as easy as what Mark told you to do, but you can do it. And that's giving you some content there. So if you're sitting there wondering, what can I do? What kind of videos? Mark gave you 3 and I just gave you another one. So every time you get a Facebook review or a Google review or a Yelp review, you can hire a videographer or a marketing firm that can actually turn that review into a commercial, right? And you don't even have to step in front of the camera. So there's hacks to doing this. So if you're camera shy, you could do that as well. And that's my idea for you guys.
Yeah, and here's another thing. Like most people are afraid to step in front of the camera, okay? So for those people, yeah, you can hire like a Bob Theriot to take care of that for you and have somebody do a Google review and turn that into a video for you, right? Another thing you could do is if you don't want to be seen, you can actually do a video where it's just your screen and you're showing somebody how to do something on your computer screen, right? Where it's just your voice and they can hear you that way. That's another way to do it as well. Yeah.
You could teach someone something. Yeah. And we do that all the time in our businesses.
Yeah. And that would fall under the FAQ or value giveaway videos. Right. I think all videos except for the ones, in my opinion, all videos except for the ones that, showcase a product or service, they all fall into those 3 categories, in my opinion. The FAQ or value giveaway videos and the about me video or video testimonials. If you just hammer those, pretty much your side, I think.
Those are great tips for the audience there. And since we're on Facebook Live, let's not forget about going live, right? So like Mark said, your first video may be mediocre. Your second one, you're going to get better at it. You really, as a business owner, should be going live a lot. Okay. Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. And if I could just jump in and chime in this. Yes, do lives, but you got to remember when you make a Facebook video, you put a video on Facebook, it'll get buried in the feed and just gets buried deep down. But when you do it on YouTube, it stays there. It stays at the top. So, and there's other benefits to having the videos on YouTube because, if you do it right, you can actually be found on like the first page of Google when somebody searches for specific phrases. So that's something to keep in mind. Don't really neglect YouTube. I mean, YouTube is important. Another thing you can do is take your Facebook Live videos and put them on YouTube as well.
Yeah, upload them and just add to your content there, right? So we already talked about the kind of videos people should make. What's your thought on hiring a videographer? I mean, don't you think? And remember, I was bringing that up about using your smartphone at the beginning, especially if you have a small budget, right? Don't be afraid to use your smartphone.
Yeah. To answer that question about hiring a videographer or a marketing agency, it's like you want to hire somebody like Bob, okay? If you have more money than time, you want to hire somebody like Bob, okay? But if you have more time than money, then you want to get it going yourself because you're not going to be able to afford to hire an agency or a videographer. And that's why I wanted to make it very simple for people to do it on their own. And sometimes people say, well, like, I mean, it's kind of a hassle to make a video, and yeah, it does take effort. Can you hear an echo?
I'm sorry?
You hear an echo?
That's going to be on your end. You're good on my end.
Okay. But yeah, it does take time to do videos, but they just got to be done. So there's a few things that you can do to make it easier on yourself. Like, if there's somebody that you work with that you can team up with, where you pick a slow day, like a Tuesday morning or a Saturday morning, and set some time aside, like a couple hours to pump out a few videos and have somebody help you do it, because it is a lot easier if you have some help. But if you don't, you can still do it on your own. In fact, I mean, if you wanted to make like hassle-free videos, there's pretty much only a few things that you really need. Number one, a recording device, right? You obviously need a camera. And the smartphone, any smartphone, as long as you've bought it within the last few years, any smartphone, the technology that it has is, it's good enough, right? You can go out and spend thousands of dollars on a DSLR camera, but it's really not necessary. You can put a video that is made with a smartphone side by side with a video that's made by a DSLR camera, and most people cannot tell the difference.
No.
So you can use their smartphone, but the thing is, just start with what you have. And another thing you could do is, like, you can get a webcam. You can buy a webcam on Amazon from like Logitech for like $60, right? So I mean, just start with what you have. That's the most important thing. The second thing, recording device, number one. The second thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a tripod. You don't want, obviously, the video to be shaking as you're doing it. Okay, you can get a tripod for less than $30 on Amazon. And then you don't need this, okay? But if the audio is poor or it's very bad, like if it sounds like you're standing in a wind tunnel and you're doing the video, people aren't going to watch it. They're going to click away. So if you're having issues with audio, then you might want to invest in an external mic, okay? So people can hear you clearly and there's no issues with that. And you can go to Amazon and pick up a wired lavalier mic for like $30, okay? And when you keep in mind, just a couple of tips. When you have a microphone, make sure it's about 4 inches away from your face, not too close, and because it'll sound like you're swallowing the microphone, not too far. And then the fourth thing is lighting, right? You want to make sure the lighting's okay. So like if you're in an office, okay, and it has good lighting, that's good enough. But you don't need to go out and get a professional lighting kit. Right? If you did want to do that,
right?
If you did want to do that, then you can go to Amazon and pick a professional studio lighting kit for like pick one up for like $120. Okay, so you can do indoor or outdoor. If you're gonna do indoor, just make sure it's well lit. You don't need to have your own lighting kit, but they're there for you. If you're gonna do it outdoors, okay, it's very important that you don't make the mistake that I made when I first started doing videos. Like, I just did it gung ho, right? I didn't care. And I went out during like midday when the sun is right above your head.
Right.
And the issue with that is when the sun is right above your head, it will cast undesirable shadows on your eyes and make you look like a skeleton. So when you're recording outdoors, you want to make sure you're recording when the sun is rising in the morning, when the sun is setting, because the sun will be at an angle and hit you from the right angle, and it won't be as harsh.
Right.
You know? And lastly,
that's called the golden hour, by the way.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So
what was the last thing?
The last thing is editing software. You can obviously you want to edit the software, the video, if like you're by yourself and you click, you hit the record button on your camera, and then you walk over to stand where you're going to stand, and people see that. You want to get rid of that stuff. So editing software will help you do that. You can actually edit a video on YouTube for free. And most of the computers that you buy these days, if you buy a PC, it's going to come with Movie Maker, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a PC, but I have a Mac. And if you have a Mac, they all come with iMovie.
Right.
Okay. And you can edit videos there. Okay. Now, if you wanted to get like video editing software that is a lot easier to use, if you have a Mac, then you can get ScreenFlow. I think that's like $120 or something like that one time. Or if you have a PC, then you can get Camtasia. It's the equivalent of ScreenFlow for PCs. Yeah. So basically, I mean, that's pretty much really all you need is a recording your camera. Okay? Right. And your tripod.
That's awesome. It's good stuff.
Everything that I just talked about there is in the video marketing cheat sheet we made for you if you want to pick that up.
So tell them again how to get that cheat sheet, Mark.
Let's go to bossmarketer.com/video.
And you'll be able to download all this stuff that Mark's talking about in a little bit more detail. Yeah,
everything that I just talked about. In fact, we have templates in there on exactly what to say when you're making your videos, how to get them done simply on your own, hassle-free, and like the essential tools that you need. Basically what I just went over.
That's awesome for you sharing that with my audience. I appreciate that.
Wonderful.
So I have a lot of real estate agents that that are in my community, right? So we were talking about the videos and stuff. So I wanted to get your take on videos for real estate agents. Of course, everything that you mentioned they can apply, but what is your take on what's their main focus should be? I know a lot of them hire videographers to showcase the house and then put that on Facebook and things like that. What are you hearing out there? What's your take?
Well, unfortunately, that's all most real estate agents do.
Right.
They'll just do videos about the house that they're, the listing that they have. So, I mean, that's the one thing I'd say is just implement the things that we talk about in this call, this video that we're doing right now, and that will help you because nobody else is doing this stuff. Right. Nobody else, when they're making a video, they're just bragging about how great they are.
Yeah, it's all the sameness. I call it sameness, right?
Yeah. In marketing, you want to do what everybody else is not doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When everybody goes left, you go right.
So you can stand out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you want to stand out.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it just goes back to like value giveaway. Okay. Most people do not want to give away their best information.
Right.
They're afraid. They're afraid that, they're just going to take the information away.
And I think a lot of it too has to do with that they have very little, right? So if they give that away, there's nothing to follow that up with. I tend to see that too.
Well, and that goes into, you always want to be growing as a person, right? You asked about real estate agents, but it's like this in every industry. But you just want to make sure that you are always growing and investing in yourself. Mm-hmm. And whatever programs you can be investing in, do it because, I mean, like you and I, where did we meet? We met at a mastermind group. We're part of the same mastermind group.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to meet like high-level people. And like now, you've grown, in my opinion, to be like a really good personal friend of mine. And I love you like a brother. So
it's awesome. Same, man. And and for those of you who don't know, I mean, a mastermind is really a group of people that come together that are like-minded, that share their ideas. So for the mastermind that me and Mark are in, we were actually handpicked, right? There was a lot of people that applied to be in this. And I think they picked 15 of us. And so we meet quarterly and then we meet monthly every month on a Zoom call. And then we meet quarterly in different cities. And then we just get together and we share ideas. We talk about marketing, what's working in business, what's not working. And it's a really cool thing, right? So for those of you that can't join a mastermind, you can always find someone that's, a mentor or somebody that's been where you want to hack things, right? You want to shorten that learning curve. And if you can do that, like Mark was saying, is always through personal development. It's always going to be through reading up on things, taking courses. I think a lot of people, especially in local business, they underestimate everything. They underestimate how much money it's going to take to market. They underestimate how much time it's going to take to actually penetrate the market. They underestimate how much turnover they're going to have with their employees. And it goes on and on and on. But they need to stop, focus, create a budget, and then actually develop themselves, spend some money on themselves, and they're really afraid to do it. And it's, it's an ROI thing, but we talk about this all the time. We know that we've gotten our money back in our mastermind, right? We recouped that money a long time ago, just from the relationships we developed.
Well, not just from the relationships, for sure.
Right.
But actually, I can track it. Where I've made my money back over and over again. But you touched on something that's really important: personal growth. I always tell people it doesn't matter. You say real estate because yes, you have a lot of real estate people on this call, but it's like this in every industry. In business, okay, there's 3 things that I think you can do to make yourself better. Okay, number 1, always be learning new skill sets. Right, always be moving forward. Stay open minded. Always be learning new things because nothing in life stays the same. Everything in life is like a plant, which is a plant either growing or it's what? It's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Our mind is the same way. Our mind is either expanding or contracting and that's fine. Right? Nothing in life stays the same. Neutral is impossible in business. It's impossible. Okay.
Right.
Because for example, if somebody shows you a graph, okay, they say, okay, let's take a look at this graph. Well, we've been flatlining for the last 2 months, guys. It's not true. It's not true. When you take into consideration inflation, that flat line is a decline. Okay. Mm-hmm. Neutral is impossible in business. It's impossible by the laws of nature. Okay. Look at a source of energy. battery.
Mm-hmm.
You see any neutral signs on a battery?
Right.
It's pretty straightforward. Right? There's positive and there's negative. Right. We're going forward in business, or we're going backwards. Right. So always be learning new things. Okay. The second way to grow and become better is to hone your current skill sets. Mm-hmm. Hone your current skill sets. In other words, practice what you already know. Right. Practice, train, drill, rehearse. Practice, train, drill, rehearse. Practice, train, drill, and rehearse. Right. Whatever industry you're in, like if you're a real estate agent, right, and your downtime, when you're not showing homes, when you're not on listing appointments, when you're not on the phone setting appointments, when you're not going to networking groups and building relationships, any downtime that you have, you want to be practicing your listing presentation. If you're a real estate agent, or if you're like in another industry, practicing your presentation on your products or your services, okay, with your coworkers, right? You want to have your presentations down pat.
Yeah.
So down pat to where you could be sleeping in the middle of the night, somebody poke you, say a few words from your presentation, and you finish it off.
Right. And it doesn't sound scripted, right?
Right.
Because I get into this a lot with there's certain people in the industry that I run into, and they're opposed to scripts. Okay, so yeah, if you're reading something word for word and you sound like you're reading something, it's going to sound inauthentic, right? So what you're saying is practice
training wheels.
I'm sorry?
Scripts are like training wheels. Okay.
Right.
You want the scripts to serve as training wheels. So once you get going, then you don't need them.
Right.
Right.
It's natural.
It'll come off organically when you've gone through it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but practice, train, drill, and rehearse. You don't want to practice on your prospects or your clients. Everybody knows what happens when we practice on our prospects or our clients, right?
Yeah. You walk out without a sale.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do that. And then the last thing is, and the reason why I bring this up is because we talked about this, is the third way that I think you're going to get better in business is find people operating at very high levels and surround yourself with them. Mm-hmm. And get as close to these people as you possibly can, what their patterns are, take the actions to take, and get the results that they get. Right. And yeah, we need industry-specific training, and we also need to go outside of our industry to find out what other people are doing in other industries, and we can take the best of the best and carry it forward in our own way.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so many. What I'd say is there's so many different, like, especially with real estate, there's a lot of different programs that agents can be investing in to make themselves better. Right? You have Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Buffini, this program, that program, and I'll tell you right now, they all work. They all work. Right. You have a program. Your program works, right?
Yeah, I have a new real estate program that I just launched, Facebook Accelerator, right? Yeah. You may or may not, we haven't talked about it enough, but I think you're going to teach a module on there for me.
Yeah, we can work that out.
Yeah.
We can work that out. And then here's the thing though, like all those programs work, but people, they maybe do, the people that get in, they don't take them seriously, okay? But the people that don't get in, they don't get in because they think, well, there's so many, they're overwhelmed. They're like, there's so many different programs that I could be investing in to make myself better, make my business better, but I'm overwhelmed. Which one should I invest in?
Right.
Or which one should you invest in?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Well, mine, but other than that, no, but you got to do your homework. You got to do your homework because there's a lot of junk out there.
There is, but here's the thing. I learned. What's junk. I mean, for the most part, you can sense what junk is, right? Okay. And I've even learned things from junk programs, believe it or not. Yeah. But if you ask me like which programs you should invest in, my answer to that question is you should invest in as many as you can make sense of. Mm-hmm. Think about it. People don't do it because they think there's a lack of money. There's no shortage of money.
No.
There's no shortage of money in this world. There's not.
Right.
Think about it. What does this country do when we start running out of money?
We start printing it.
Yeah, we just print more. Dude, there's no shortage of money in this world.
Right.
But you know what?
People have it.
You know what there is a shortage of?
Say that again?
Do you know what there is a shortage of?
Effort.
Yes, there is a shortage of effort, and there's a shortage of committed people.
Okay? Commitment?
Committed people.
Committed people, yeah.
And once we're committed, creativity comes after commitment.
Yeah.
Once we're committed,
you have to decide that you want to succeed. Whatever it is you're doing, you have to make that decision, right? And we talk about this too. A lot of it's mindset, you guys. Mindset. You may hear that word. It's kind of a buzzword right now in our industry, right, Mark? Wouldn't you say that? but it's really true. I mean, mindset is. We'll talk a little bit about it. Give them your take on it, and I'll give them my take.
Well, here, having the right mindset is the most important thing. Everything is done under the umbrella of attitude, right? If your attitude is terrible, before you meet with your clients, before you pick up the phone, if your mindset is in the gutter, you're gonna blow it before you even open your mouth, because people will feel that, right? You want to be in the right emotional state. You want to be in a good mood and have ways to put yourself in a good mood, right? And there's different ways to do that, but yeah, I mean, everything falls under having the right attitude. And that's what you think about this. That's what people are paying for. People are paying for a good attitude.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says, you know what, I want to deal with that guy. He's the biggest jerk in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And, and that's one of the things that they don't train on in school or in college is they don't talk about attitude. They don't teach attitude. And it's something that you have to practice, just like you were saying a little while ago about practice and, doing things over and over again, getting better at it. You really have to work on your attitude. And again, I learn a lot of stuff from people, but I don't watch the news anymore like I used to. I used to be a news junkie. I'd watch it, listen to it first thing in the morning, watch it in the morning, listen to it in the car. I stopped that stuff a long time ago because I finally realized it was all bad, right? You're rarely going to hear any good stuff come out of the radio or TV or news. It's all attention grabbing headlines, and it's a fire, it's an explosion, it's a robbery, it's a killing. So I just don't even, I stay a little tuned to it, usually through the internet. It'll come through my phone, right? I can see highlights. So I know what's going on in the world. It's not like I'm shutting myself off, but at the same time, I just don't want to inundate myself with nothing but bad news, constant. And it does affect your frame of mind and your mindset.
No question. And in fact, one of my mentors, actually the first mentor I ever had, he told me, if something isn't, he said, don't watch the news. This is the first time I heard this, because I came from a family where, they watch the news all the time. I was like, I wonder why we're in the situation we're in. Right? Right. I came from a financially challenged family. Like, times were tough for us when I was a kid. But my mentor, he's like, don't watch the news. He said, if something, and I asked him, I said, well, how am I supposed to stay up to date? And he said, if something is important enough, you'll actually hear about it from another person. Mm-hmm. Think about it. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If the world ends or is ending, you'll hear about it really quick. Right. Yeah. The rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. But mindset's real important, you guys. And in owning a business, operating a business, small business, whether you're a real estate agent, for me, you have to have a deep belief system in yourself and your product and what you're delivering. So anytime I walk into a room or I'm in a meeting with someone, I really feel like I'm the best person for that job. I feel like I can deliver more value than anybody there. And it's not that I think I'm better than anybody, or that's not the case. In my own head, that's what I tell myself, that these people are going to get a lot of value just from talking with me. And it's just a lot of self-talk, a lot of self-motivation. And that's helped me in close a lot of deals, to be honest with you, is knowing that I have the capabilities. And a lot of you out there that are in business, you have it, you just aren't bringing it to the forefront, right? You have this little voice in the back of your head that makes you think that you're not successful, or what you're saying, you don't know if you could deliver on it. And people pick up on those little nuances, whether it be through verbal expression or body language, right? Mark, we talked about this. You've studied some neural linguistics, if I'm correct, right? Didn't you mention that to me?
Yeah. So I got certified in neural linguistics programming. The thing is, though, you don't want to get too bogged down in you don't need to go take a course on NLP. Once you deal with so many people, you'll pick up on things, and that happens from frequency. You just got to get in front of enough people, and you'll know what people are about to say before they even say it. You don't listen to what people are saying. Okay, you watch what they're saying. You listen with your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
I can say something to you. I could say, for example, you know what, Bob, I like you, right? Or I could say, Bob, right? Or I could say, Bob, I freaking hate you. Right? There's a big difference there, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but the thing is, yes, you want to have a good attitude, but there's a dichotomy to that, okay? You don't want to be delusional, okay? We have a lot of those people where I live in the Los Angeles area, right? Right, but you don't want to be delusional and just have a good attitude and not know your stuff. You've got to know your stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's two sides to it. You have to know your stuff, because if you don't know your stuff, well, you're going to be dead in the water.
Right. Well, people can see through that too, because if you can have that all the confidence in the world, but if you can't deliver, you'll be, shaken out real quick. It'll come to the surface very, very quickly. You need to know what you're doing. And that's in everything. I don't care what business you're in. Right?
Yeah.
Because people talk reputation, we talk about Google, Yelp, video testimonials, all this stuff. If somebody's unhappy with you, they're going to tell the world now. And I believe it's 97% of all millennials will look up your reviews before they judge. They're going to judge you. They're going to look up your reviews before they decide to do business with you. 94% of everyone else is going to look up your online reputation. So if you own a business and you're not paying attention to those reviews, those stars that people are leaving you on the internet, you're in trouble. I mean, I have seen businesses have to unplug their Facebook and their Googles, because their Google page, because they have such bad reputation. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but you've got to pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah. And you don't want to let it get to that point. If you're working with a guy like Bob and his social media agency, then you'll be able to prevent something like that from happening. You won't let it get to that point. But obviously, you have to do your end, your part of the deal, and deliver on your product and your service.
Yeah. And like I tell everybody, marketing.
I remember you told me about a client that you had that you actually sent him so much traffic that he couldn't handle it all. And and basically the product the product that the guy had wasn't up to par, and unfortunately it was magnified way faster because of all the people you're driving.
Right. So what's going to happen is marketing is going to speed up your quality of whatever your service or product is, right? So if you put it out there, and I've actually experienced this with restaurants too. We've driven a lot of traffic to restaurants, and all of a sudden they're jam-packed, but now the reviews start going through the roof on Google and Facebook and Yelp, and they're all bad reviews. So, what ends up happening is you don't have a good product. We can get the people to your restaurant, but if they have a really bad experience, we can't get them back, right? So in marketing, you have to be real careful. You have to do, it's like you said, you have to have both. There has to be a balance of delivering good product service and then marketing well. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of great products, great service, but they don't know how to market, right? So it can work both ways. Yeah,
and here's the thing though, the better you are at marketing yourself, at positioning yourself, at branding yourself, like for example, the more you do like those videos that I talked about, FAQ videos and FAQ videos and video testimonials, the more of those that you do, the less skilled of a salesperson you can actually get away with being.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not that you want to be a low skilled salesperson, right? Nobody wants to do that, but you won't have to work as hard.
Right.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and there's no sense in working harder than you need to, but at that point, you'll get to a point where you'll be able to cherry pick your clients. Like, for example, you're in that situation right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get to work with the people we want to work with, right? Same for you. Not every client's going to be the right fit for you. I've done a little bit more homework on our clients before we do business with them, because you don't want to run into those restaurants where their food is horrible and their service is horrible, because then you're attaching my brand, my company to that business. So we have to actually vet a lot of clients before we decide we're even going to do business with them. And that's just a philosophy we've had to take on as an agency owner. And you learn the hard way, right? And sometimes I feel bad for people because you see them trying really, really hard.
That's when you learn the most, when it hurts the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mark, any final words, any big projects, anything you got coming up, anything you want to talk about before I let you go?
No. So basically, you have a lot of viewers in the El Paso area. If I'm in the area, if you're part of a sales team that has a group of 10 or more salespeople that you think would benefit from a workshop on sales training and social media marketing, I'll come out and I'll do it for free if I'm in the area. If I'm not, then I can do a webinar for you. But if that's something you're interested in, just send an email to support@bossmarketer.com. and we'll do that for you. Basically, what we do is we do sales training and social media marketing training for local business owners and salespeople. We do them via workshops, webinars, and live events as well. And if you want the video marketing cheat sheet for local business owners and salespeople, like we talked about, it pretty much covers everything that I talked about in this Q&A show, then you can go to bossmarketer.com/video and download it there for free. It's free. There's obviously no fee for it.
Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge with my audience. It was a pleasure having you on here. It was fun. We had a good time. And you guys, if you found any value in this, please still share it out. Hit that like button before we let the broadcast end. Hit that share button, because the more people that see this, the more people that we'll be able to bring value to in the future. I may bring Mark on in a later time. And maybe you guys can contact him. Like you said, if he has a sales force, you want him to come in, you guys have a large enough sales force or a webinar, he'd be happy to do that for you. But I really appreciate it, Mark. Thank you very much. And you guys, so I'm an audience, thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time with us here. We will put this in replay mode. And if you do happen to watch this in replay mode, #replay. So if you're at this point in the show and you're watching it later on, #replay so I know you saw it. And don't be afraid to hit that like button. Nothing's going to happen to your finger other than it's going to tell people that you actually saw the show. So I really appreciate it.
Before we cut this off, I just want to say thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And Gus, thank you, Mark. So I think you got a lot of value from what you had to say. I appreciate it, you guys. Until next time, we'll see you. And for those of you that are in real estate and own a business, keep hitting it hard, because eventually you'll get what you want if you give what you want. Have a good one, and thank you very much. Take care.